And good morning and welcome to another edition of Telling It Like It Is. We're back from a 2 week time off here. We're live here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms. And it's been a busy week for NFL free agency, including yesterday, the shocker of the world yesterday, and it happened. Kenny Pickett got traded from the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome, Leo Haggerty, my co-host here, who's here every Saturday morning with me here on Telling It Like It Is. Leo, what's the word? What's the word on your end on this trade? What do you think? You think the Steelers got the best of this, or did Philly get the best of this?
Well, I think both of them got the best of it, Ralph. And here's why. Coaches will tell you, I want competition at every position, but in the back of their mind, they're saying, "Yeah, but one quarterback. I don't want competition there. I want my guy. I want him to be there." You think Tom Brady had competition in New England for the last? No. They just now they've eliminated that in Pittsburgh. It's Russell Wilson's job, plain and simple.
Right.
And I think that takes a lot of guesswork out. And Philly got a capable backup. That's what they wanted. Let's be realistic here. Justin Fields is going to take every snap. Justin Hurts is going to take every snap. Russell Wilson is going to take every snap. Doesn't matter who the backup is, but you got to have somebody there who now is cap friendly. Kenny Pickett is cap friendly, and he's an experienced quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. It was kind of surprising. My producer of my radio show was the one who texted me and told me about it. I took a nap later in the afternoon around 2:00. I get up around 4 and I got all these text messages from people asking me about this Kenny Pickett trade. I said, I don't know nothing about it. I was napping for 2 hours. So I have no idea what happened. And then all of a sudden I actually kind of thought it was a joke there for a minute. And then but I heard from what my sources are telling me was Monday, Mike Tomlin called Kenny Pickett and said, we've decided we're not going to have a competition, that Russell Wilson will be our starting quarterback. And from what I was told, was that Kenny was not happy about it and started whining. And the interesting thing about it was that the Steelers had already got rid of a whiner, Deontay Johnson. And they got rid of Shuk Sakorafor, who was a whiner. And now they got rid of the third whiner, and that's Kenny Pickett. And if I'm George Pickens, I changed my attitude this year because this message was sent to him to stop being a whiner. All right. And I think they're starting to weed out all the whiners. And that's actually a good thing because it took our team down last year. And also, Omar Khan, our general manager, said that he was fixing Kevin Colbert's 2022 mistakes, which was Kenny Pickett was one of them. He should have never been drafted in the first round.
You know what, Ralph? That's the problem with quarterbacks. Everybody looks at them with rose-colored glasses. And again, look what's going to happen in the draft this year. You may have Daniels, you may have Caleb Williams, you may have Drake May all go to bad football teams. Let's be honest. They're going to bad football teams. They're not going to do well right off the gate. And again, if anybody sits there and says, oh, well, it's different. Hey, you know what Peyton Manning was his first year? 1-15.
Yeah, he was.
He
was. The only one that got lucky last year was C.J. Stroud. He got lucky with Houston.
Well, he got lucky. There was a coaching change too. That's the big thing. Yeah. If you come in to a coach which is going to be an advantage in Washington because they have a coaching change. It's going to be an advantage in New England, a coaching change. So they're going to bear with him. Now, again, if you got an owner like the guy in Carolina, Tepper, who wants to win yesterday and doesn't understand the dynamics of the NFL, how it takes a while for things to happen, then you could have a problem. But again, you try to look at the quarterbacks objectively. Problem is, a lot of teams don't. They say, okay, this is what this guy could be. Not what he could be. What is he now? Is he a guy or is he just another guy? That's the thing. And
And
that's
with the
the
salary cap set up for rookies now, Leo, there should be no reason why. Well, now that's why when teams go into the draft to build, they draft the quarterback in the first round because they know they can get him for 5 years, and that cap's not going to be a big hit. Where it wouldn't back in the day before this was set up, gosh, they would come out and ask for $30 million right away.
yeah, they did. The NFL fixed that. And
Yeah.
that was good. They needed to.
Oh yeah.
Now they got to fix the runaway price for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's just gotten to the point in the NFL where you're looking for that guy to get you over the hump. And I'll tell you what, Ralph, what's going to be interesting is teams like 15 through 25 drafting in that range. They're going to look at their draft board, and there may be a guy up there that they have rated fourth or fifth. And they may be picking 15 through 25, and they're going to have to make a real strong decision. We don't need that position right now, but that's the fourth best, fifth best guy we got on our board.
Right.
My advice to them is the same advice Carmen Perone gave me when I first started this back in the 1970s. Trust your board. It's up there for a reason. Again, when Michael Penix, Bo Nix, and McCarthy, they're all hanging around in that middle rounds of the
Right.
first round, middle area. Boy, I'll tell you, there's a lot of teams that are going to have to make a real hard decision. And one of them is the Buccaneers. If Michael Penix is out there, if Bo Nix is out there, you got to look hard at that
Well, the
because these
Steelers are the
guys are,
same way. I
yeah.
mean, I heard they were talking to Bo Nix throughout the combine, and if that's the case, and Penix too. So if they decide, hey, we might have 6 guys or 10 guys up on our list for first round picks that we want to take, and we need help on the offensive line, and we need help on the defensive line, both lines of scrimmages now. And if we get somebody that's an inside linebacker that's good, that's a bonus. Okay, on the as far as the draft goes, because I think we've just about basically touched on every need so far in free agency. We have a couple more that we need to do. We need a center. We need to if you can get a center in free agency, that's a bonus because then you don't have to go into the draft and get a center. And I've heard Ladarius Mims from Georgia, but he's hurt right now. He got hurt in the combine. So I don't know if I'd want to draft him. But if Penix is sitting there or Bo Nix is sitting there, if I'm the Steelers, hey, I'm taking him. I mean, I'm not
And you
messing
know what,
around.
Ralph? I think you hit the nail on the head there because you got rid of Pickett.
Pickett,
So
right?
you need that guy. And I
Yeah,
think Pittsburgh, I think Denver, they're going to look quarterback,
yeah,
plain and simple.
yeah, yeah. Denver's really going to have to get somebody, and I want to thank you for having for leading me
Dave
on to
Alexander jumped on
yeah,
with you, huh?
Dave Alexander, yeah, because now he can come on and he's going to tell me exactly what the thought process was in Denver. And I know I heard some stories about Sean Payton, but now I can get it right from the horse's mouth. So
And you know what, Ralph? What people have to understand, if you're a player or if you're a coach, all right, if I'm a player and a new coach comes in, I'm not your guy, okay?
right,
If I'm a coach and a new owner comes in, I'm not your guy. You got to keep that mindset that they may have somebody else in mind from day one. They're just waiting for the right time to cut the cord. So
right.
again, that's what surprised me so much about Carolina is that they, jettisoned Frank Reich so fast. And again,
Oh, that was terrible. And then
well,
not only that, he had Jimmy Caldwell, Deuce Staley, as his assistants. I just couldn't understand what happened there. I mean,
well,
I know Bryce Young's not as good of a quarterback as C.J. Stroud. I get it, but they should have let that kid develop a little bit. They should have went out and got a real nice veteran and let him develop. I know he was a first round pick, but so what? You don't have that much money, that you're going to have to fork out for him anyway. So there you are. I just don't get what happened there.
yeah, I don't either. And again, my thought process is the way it went down is maybe Frank Reich was lobbying for the quarterback that they got because what really hurt was what C.J. Stroud did in Houston
Yes,
because that was Plan B. And
yes,
again, Ralph, I came on your show and said if I'm picking Bryce Young or TJ, it's CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud, yeah. Smoking Jim Frazier, my co-host, even said that, and he's a freelance scout for the NFL teams. And
Yeah,
he told me, he said that kid Bryce Young is not a number one pick quarterback. He said it when that draft came up
yeah.
last year.
And I'll tell you what, everybody should have been sold on C.J. Stroud after what he did in the game against Georgia. He
Right.
single-handedly kept Ohio State in the game, and
Yes, he
all of a
did.
sudden he became a runner. Which all of a sudden, whoa, 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 where'd this come from? So again, he showed the tools that he had. I was there from day one saying, hey, he should be the guy that Carolina picked. They didn't, and it cost Frank Reich his job.
His
And again,
job, yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
Frank was now if Tepper made the decision and he fired Frank Reich. Hey, that's not right. But if
No.
Frank Reich lobbied for this kid and obviously it was the wrong guy, now you got a problem.
Oh, absolutely. Got a big problem. All right. A few things that happened since we talked yesterday for the external bum. Aaron Donald retired from the Rams. That was an interesting scenario there. I kind of saw this coming. He wanted to retire, what, about 2 years ago? Rams gave him another contract. He said he'd stay for a couple more years. He got his ring, and he wants to walk off in the sunset. 10 years in the league. I don't blame him. I watched Brian Baldinger today, this morning, talking about how now these players are now starting to bank their money and get out after 6, 8 years, 10 years, instead of staying for 14, 15 years and beating their bodies up. If Cam Hayward was to retire tomorrow, I would accept it because, Cam wants to win a Super Bowl before he retires. And I've said this many times, Leo, and I'll continue to say it. This team, the Steelers, will never win another Super Bowl with Mike Tomlin. And if they do, I will do all my shows naked.
Wow. Hold on. Wait a second. Okay. They
Yeah.
haven't won one today. So,
Yeah.
you know what, Ralph? I'll tell you what. When right now, if you had to go put the house payment on who's going to win the Super Bowl next year,
You're right.
that's a problem because the NFL stands for one thing, not for long. And you
Not for
don't
long.
stay in a
Yeah.
place not for long. And,
Right.
and again, Kansas City looks like they're going to, but again, you're one injury
Hey,
away.
Mahomes could get hurt and they could
Oh,
be
yeah.
done. You know what
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean? You never know. That's like I had this argument with Mark Mancini. He's going on and on about how great the Dodgers are. Okay. And I said, Mark, they keep bringing in these high priced players and then they get hurt. And then when the first playoff game comes up, they blow it in the first series. Okay. They can't continue to do that. Well, guess what? They're doing it again. And they're going to continue to lose. And I heard this year, if they don't win or at least get past that first round, Dave Roberts is out of a job. And that's the same thing here in the NFL. You could sign all the great free agents you want, but once somebody gets hurt that's in a key position, and your team is screwed. And that's the bottom line. I don't care who you bring in to replace them.
Yeah, and you know what? People need to understand there's a difference between being hurt and being injured.
Right.
Everybody gets hurt. Everybody gets hurt. You can play hurt. You can't play injured.
You
And,
can't
and,
play
and,
injured. No.
and that's the problem. And going back to the Dodgers, the problem the Dodgers have is they don't play a meaningful game until the playoffs. They know,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to get in. And then all of a sudden, they got to try to ramp it up. And
Yeah. Well, the pitchers are
they
hurt. The high money pitchers are hurt. Their big players are hurt, and they don't want to play hurt or they're injured or whatever's going on with them, and they wear out by the time the playoffs roll around. And guess what? They lose again.
it's got to be driving the Dodgers nuts as to what the Tampa Bay Rays are doing.
Yes.
Pitching and defense, they they don't care a whole lot about offense. They're going to pitch you to death. They're going to defend you to death. And it's got to drive the Dodgers nuts that this team's getting to the playoffs every year with a salary that's like one of
Right.
our guys, the whole team. And the just crazy stuff that maybe the Dodgers need to look at what the Rays are doing. And what the Rays are doing is they are just bank loading pitchers.
Well, there's three
Because
things that make for a good team: a good manager, a good scouting department, and a good general manager. And if those three things are not in there, forget about your team. And that's the bottom line.
And you know what? The Rays scouting department is phenomenal
It's
because
phenomenal. Yes.
they come up with arms.
Yeah.
I can still remember when there was a little beanball war between Boston, Tampa Bay, and the Yankees, those three teams. And Cash came out of the dugout one time and shouted over, I think it was the Yankees, it may have been the Red Sox, one of the games. He goes, hey, look,
Right.
stop throwing at our guys because I got 6 guys in that bullpen that throwing 98 plus. And he did. And that's the whole thing. The Rays bullpen, they've got 6, 7 guys because what they're going to do is they're going to try to get that starter to the 6th inning. That's their
Yeah.
modus operandi. Let's get through the lineup twice. Get through the 6th inning. Get me to the 6th, and if we got the lead, then 7, 8, 9, I'll let the bullpen take over.
Well, Pittsburgh, remember Pittsburgh's own, the late Beano Cook. He used to frown on that. He says, how in the world is a 5.5 or 5 and 2/3 inning a quality start when back in the day, a quality start was 7, 8, 9 innings?
You know what,
Now it's
Ralph?
five and a half,
Could you imagine going out to the mound to Robin Roberts, Bob Gibson, Sandy Koufax, Juan
Oh, yeah,
Marichal,
all
Don
those
Rysdale, and
people.
say, hey,
Yes.
you reach your pitch count, give me the ball. There'd be a fist fight on the mound.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
It would just, Fergie Jenkins, guys that would take the ball every fourth day and
Yes.
pitch. Crazy.
Yeah, even Roger Clemens. I mean, gosh almighty, Roger Clemens pitched some games that, and that's why he's where he is and everything else.
And you know what?
All
I would
right.
love to sit down real quick with Nolan Ryan. You know, and the question I would want to ask him is, are pitchers throwing too many pitches, different pitches now? Because when he was pitching, I think it was a fastball and a slider. And that was it.
Yeah, that was
You
all he
know,
had. Yeah.
so you know what? It's a lot. Hey, Mariano Rivera threw one pitch, a cutter.
Right.
Never had arm trouble. But these guys that are throwing 3, 4, 5 different pitches, they're the ones having arm trouble.
Zane Smith, he threw a sinker. That was his only pitch. I
Yeah.
mean, whatever. Yeah, you're right. And,
Yeah, you know it's coming, but hey, try to hit it, right?
trying to hit it, right? All right, Cleveland Browns hired Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel finally got a job. He's going to be with their personnel and coaching consultant. Mike Vrabel finally gets hired this time by the Cleveland Browns. Steelers are in trouble again. AFC North starting to get moving. The Ravens got more speed, and they also got a bruiser in Derrick Henry, and they got more speed. And then now the Cleveland Browns have hired Mike Vrabel to be a personnel and coaching consultant. New Orleans Saints got Cincinnati, or the Cincinnati Bengals got former New Orleans Saints Stanley Morgan Jr. They signed him as a wide receiver because he may be losing Tyler Boyd. Dallas cut Leighton Vander Esch. And I had an argument with JT Toth from Draft 412. He said, Ralph, he's got too many injuries. Look, if this guy's healthy, when he's healthy, he's a good linebacker. I watched him at Boise State. I watched him play for Dallas. But you have to get him when he's healthy. And we've already had some walking wounded over the last couple of years with inside linebackers. But I'm telling you, Leighton Vander Esch, you put him in there in the middle with the rest of these guys we have now. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And and they also cut Dallas wide receiver Michael Gallup. L.A. Rams signed Jimmy Garoppolo to a 1-year contract. Panthers signed Jordan Fuller and edge rusher Clavon Chasen. 49ers signed Devontae Campbell, and your Bucks signed offensive guard Bua Opeta. So there
From
you
the
are,
Eagles.
Leo.
Yeah, from the Eagles.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So what's your thoughts on all this?
Well, it's what teams do is they look at their draft board and say, okay, here's what the possibilities are. And you
Right,
know what? What can we get in free agency that will trump what we can get in the draft? And
right,
that's what they're seeing. A lot of these teams are taking backup linemen because those guys go down like defensive backs. Offensive linemen, defensive backs, hard to get through a season completely. That's what amazed me about the Philadelphia Eagles for the last 2, 3 years. They
right,
lined up those same 5 offensive linemen. That was crazy. The year the Bucks won the Super Bowl, right? Not the Brady year, but back when Brad Johnson was quarterback.
Right.
21 of the 22 guys that started game one started that Super Bowl. That's phenomenal. In fact, that's your trivia question. Who's the one guy that didn't make it? Booger McFarland broke his arm.
Yeah,
But that was
Booger.
it.
That's my man, Booger. I like Booger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. He was the only one. Everybody else, 21 of the 22 guys that started game one, lined up in the Super Bowl. Man,
Yeah, he's not that good of an announcer, Booger McFarland,
but
but I
he's
like
gotten a
Booger as a
lot
player.
better. He's
Better,
gotten
yeah,
a
he
lot
has.
better.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. But but like I said, and then uh, so let me see here.
Ralph, we got to talk about the NCAA with the
Yeah,
Selection
Pitt
Sunday
Pitt
coming
blew
up.
it yesterday against UNC. The referees for the ACC, there has to be some kind of discipline. I wish this athletic director that we have, Heather Lyke, would step up and spearhead and get together with the other athletic directors of the ACC and say, let's go up to, now they're in Greensboro or in Charlotte, North Carolina now, the ACC headquarters. They moved it from New York. They need to go to Charlotte, and they all need to get together as a group if they're willing to do so and say, hey, look, this officiating is out of control, and you need to do something about this because I've had enough of Pitt getting screwed because of the officials. You don't know how much Jeff Capel went off on these officials yesterday in this game. They were beating us up something awful, and I'm tired of it. It happens in football, and it happens in basketball. Heather Lyke of Pitt has got to do something, the athletic director. I don't care if you sit there and they tell you they can't do anything. At least make some attempt, make a phone call, get on Zoom, do something to try to offset this problem. And the problem that I see here is if Pitt does this or these other schools do this, the officials are going to pick on them anyway. So it's not going to get any better because they do that in the NFL. Remember the times when teams would complain about the officiating and they would take it out on them. It's a never-ending cycle here. What do you
I
think about
remember,
this?
Ralph, I remember one year the Steelers sent in 5 videotapes of games, 5 different games
Yeah,
where a call was blatantly wrong.
wrong.
And you know
Yeah,
what the NFL says? Sorry. And
sorry. Yeah,
I tell you what,
but
I
that's
don't
the
know if you,
NFL.
yeah, I don't know if you caught this, but the Baylor coach, Bryce Drew, got
Right,
ejected the other night for being out of the coaching box. Now,
right,
the Big 12 sent a letter to all the ADs, the coaches, and the referees. We need to get this under control. Guys are on the
right.
floor during the play. Okay, fine. Well, the first time, Bryce Drew's on the floor and he's yelling at the official. The referee turn around and say, hey, you're out of the box. Boom, you got teed up. The second time he's on the floor, they teed him up and ejected him. Now, catch this. The AD gets on the press conference afterward and says, our officiating is an abomination. Something needs to happen. Guess what happened, Ralph? They fined him $25,000.
Just
So,
for speaking out. Yeah,
right. The
yeah,
ADs aren't going to say anything to the NC, but I'll tell you what. I am just appalled by the officiating all over the place in the tournament.
yes.
It's like football in underwear. It is
Well, I
just,
thought the ACC was the only one that had that problem. Now you're telling
oh
me
God,
Big
no,
Ten,
it's all
everybody
over.
else is having that problem.
It's all over. I mean, I'm watching. I'm watching the Mountain West last night, and just like what are you allowing to have? Then I'm watching I'm watching the Big Ten.
Right.
What are you allowing to go on? I mean, there's people getting hit. Big East, there was a play out of bounds. The ball went off a guy only because the guy hit him in the face. And
Yeah,
I'm going,
yeah.
okay.
We
Uh,
got this guy. We got this big guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He has 3 names. He has
yeah.
uh, nice kid. Plays well, not well. I mean, he needs help with his defense. This guy from North Carolina just kept elbowing him in the face and the jaw, hitting him in the head. I'm like, come on, what are you doing here? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I mean, it was just out of control, and I was screaming at the TV like, what are you doing? I mean, it was bad. I watched some of it last night, and I just, for the little time I did watch the game, because I always watch SmackDown on Friday night.
Yeah.
But anyway, I switched over at times for that, and I went like this. I said, what is going on here?
And
You
then
know?
Ralph, they'll call a foul 40 feet from the basket when a guy touches him. I'm going, come on.
Come on. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, my thing, if you're, two things need to happen. You need to protect the shooter. If the shooter goes up and he gets hit, and this sticking the leg out stuff that they're doing, they just need to stop that. Shooter goes up, shoots a shot and sticks his leg out, and the guy runs into that leg sticking out. That's not supposed to be a foul, but referees are still calling it a foul. And the second thing, no harm, no foul. If a guy's dribbling the ball up the court and he gets bumped, but he doesn't lose the ball, play on. Let it go. It's this discretionary calls made by officials. You just got to shake your head and go, what are you thinking?
Oh, absolutely. We're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning studios here, and we're also in Studio B this morning. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, call 724-201-0500. Ask for Bill. Tell Bill Ralph Williams sent you. And Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, some of the best technicians to fix your air conditioning or your heat or your furnace. Get your furnace fixed for next year, and have Mata come over and fix your air conditioning for this year. So Mata Heating and Cooling, make sure you call them today. UV Lighting, they also offer a bunch of other services. Give them a call today, 724-201-0500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. You ought to call Mata. All right, Leo, we're getting down to the end of the show here. What is your thoughts, your closing thoughts for today?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of teams that are going to be really left out that are on the bubble. There's some things happening.
Yeah, Pitt's one of them.
Yeah.
And if Duquesne wins today and they go to the championship, they might get in and Pitt might be out. I mean, because Duquesne is playing their second game today in the tournament, in the A10 tournament. And if they go to the championship and win, they might be in, and Pitt's not going to be in there. They're going to be on the outside looking in because they got behind the 8 ball at the beginning of the season. They should never done it.
See, that shouldn't count as much as the end of the season. I mean, South Florida's looking at the same thing. They've won now 19 to 21 games since the new year. And, they were 2-4 out of the gate, but, new coach, new team and everything. And boy, they got it turned around. But the sad thing is, it looks like they're going to have to win the tournament to get in. Even with that record, they're going to be, let's say, if they win today, I think they're going to be 24-6. And they won the AAC. So it's going to be interesting to see what that. And they keep talking about this net. This the net ranking. They're 77. But what determines the net? That's what I want to know. Is it just you play somebody, or do you win?
Or you win, play somebody. I mean, I don't know. Strength of schedule. I mean, they're talking about some of our non-conference games. We're not adequate enough to meet their standards for this year's tournament, which, of course, every year they change the standards anyhow. So what's the difference?
During the season, they change it. Yeah. That's the worst part. And you know what, Ralph? Until the NCAA, and again, you're asking the NCAA to make a decision, which is a mistake. That's not going to happen. But until they say, look, the only way you get into this tournament is if you finish 500 or better in your conference. I don't want a team that's 7-9, 6-10 in their conference and saying, oh, well, their net is screw the net.
Right. What happens if they win the conference or they win the conference tournament and they're 7-9? What happens there?
Yeah, they're in.
I mean, they're in. Yeah, they're automatically in, even if they're 7-9.
Right. Everybody's automatic qualifier is the tournament champion, which these mid-majors are going to have to take a quick look at that because, they got to, look at what happened to Dayton. Dayton got beat by Kent State.
Yeah.
Now,
Dayton got beat by Duquesne.
Yeah.
Dayton got beat by Duquesne. Yeah. So, and that's the first time Duquesne's beaten Dayton in since 2009.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, yeah.
Well, Ralph, it's been a pleasure as usual.
Same here, Leo, as always. So you have yourself a great day. We'll see what else happens today. Free agency might be a little quiet because of the weekend, but I doubt it. We'll see where Omar Khan, they call him the Khan man. We're going to see what he does next. He says, and I read a report this morning, He's cleaning up Kevin Colbert's 2022 mistakes. So you could see some more changes. Some of the guys that were drafted in that draft could be out the door.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
and it
So,
started with
Ralph,
Kenny Pickett, and
Yep. I will talk to you Friday. You have a great
All right.
week.
You too. Thanks, Leo. Leo Haggerty from Amped Up Sports, my co-host here every single Saturday morning, and also he's a co-host on the External Bum Show on Friday morning at 11 a.m. And we're here every Saturday morning for Telling It Like It Is here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter platforms. We're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning studios right here in the Allentown section of the city of Pittsburgh. And so, all right, when we come back, we're going to take care of some bills here. I have some announcements to make, and I'll give you some more of my opinion right after these words. Hello, Ralph Williams here for DJ Fun. DJ Fun FUN is a party and special event DJ. He will DJ your party and will play any genre of music you wish. Call DJ Fun today at 412-990-8448. That number again, 412-990-8448. DJ Fun for the best party DJ and affordable prices. DJ Fun. Draft412.com is a website that provides you with all of the best information about any draft, NHL, Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, any kind of draft. 412.com has an e-magazine delivered to your inbox for $9 a month. And also they give you all the skinny and on all the athletes and also podcasts. Draft412.com. Let me talk to you today about the original Hometown Pizza in Moon Township, right on University Boulevard. They have some of the best pizza you'll ever have. 412-264-4444. Call for takeout, delivery, or eat in. Go to the original Hometown Pizza today. Mention my name, Ralph Williams, and you will get a discount on your bill. Hometown Pizza, Moon Township, some of the best of the original Hometown Pizza. Let me talk to you here today about Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. 724-201-0500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. They have the best technicians to handle your furnace, air conditioner, UV lighting, snow melt, much, much more. Call them today, 724-201-0500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. You can also catch them on Facebook at Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Mata, you oughta call Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. All right, we're back here at Telling It Like It Is. It's every Saturday morning right here on your favorite social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms. Just a few announcements. Don't forget about the sports capsule. I come on whenever, however, and whenever I feel like coming on and talking about some stuff going on in the latest of sports. I was on 3 times yesterday from free agency all across the board. The Aaron Donald retirement. As you know, he played for Pitt. It's great to see Aaron now moving on to other things. Maybe he could work with Pitt as a recruiter to go out and recruit. So for the Pitt football team, that would be a very nice idea. But you know how that goes. So anyway, also, Mike Vrabel getting hired by the Cleveland Browns. That's got to affect the Steelers. And I know what Mike Tomlin would say. Well, we don't worry about what other teams do. Well, yeah, you should. Mike Vrabel is now with the Browns. It took Mike forever to get a job, but at least he got something. He's a consultant personnel, consultant there, and he's going to be in charge of that. The Kenny Pickett trade yesterday made the biggest news of them all across the country on all the national fronts here. I was on, like I said, 3 times yesterday to talk about different things in connection with the draft, with the free agency. The Steelers and what they were up to yesterday. They were very busy yesterday with a few deals. All right, but just a few announcements. Monday, 11 a.m., Ralph's Opinion. Hey, I'm looking for more views here. I need people to view this program. What's going on? 11 a.m. every Monday morning. I know what you're saying, Ralph. I'm at work. Well, you know what? You can be part of the show while you're at work. You can listen to it. Put on your headset. You listen to music and everything else. Put it on. Listen. It's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms. And then later on Monday at 7 p.m., the way we see it with me, Ralph Williams, Bill Canada, I'm working on getting Sam DeMarco on, who is the Allegheny County Councilman at Large, to talk about this lawsuit between him and the county executive over the voting, dropping off ballots in 5 different places, and at the jail. They want to set up something at the jail. So we're going to see what Sam has to say about all this. I'm working on getting him on Monday. So tune in 7 p.m. right here, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms. All RW Media shows except Sports Corner Radio Show, which is also on Beaver County Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, even after the show is over. And during the show, it's live. And then it's also live on Sports Corner. Just punch up Sports Corner with Ralph Williams, Smoke, and Jim Frazier on your YouTube search bar, and it will bring you up to Sports Corner as well. So you have all kinds of options to listen to RW Media shows. This Tuesday's the big one. This is the show that I think is probably the best one I've done. All right. And I know Ray Fittipaldo was on the show last week. Well, guess what? He's back on again this week because the Steelers made some news. They traded Kenny Pickett. And I'm going to have Ray on to talk about that. 4 o'clock, Ray Fittipaldo, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, to talk about the Kenny Pickett trade and where the Steelers go from here at quarterback. All right, at 4:30, Michael McHenry makes his second appearance on Sports Corner Radio Show. Michael McHenry is a former Pirate catcher and a current broadcaster, and he also owns a minor league sports team. All right. David Alexander will join us at 4:45. All right. And at 4:45, we have, hang on a second here. I didn't forget. All right. We have, wow, almost forgot the name of the guy. Geez, that's a shame. James. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we have James Tatum. Now, James Tatum is coming on at 4:45, and he reports for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we're going to see what the Eagles are talking about in regards to the Kenny Pickett trade. 5 o'clock, David Alexander from the Amped Up Sports, he's going to come on and talk about the Denver Broncos and what happened with Russell Wilson in Denver. Okay? And then at 5:30, none other than retired sports broadcaster for the Steelers and current Pitt broadcaster who's been around for over 50 years, Bill Hillgrove. And he's going to tell us a little bit about Pitt basketball. He's going to talk about his retirement, what was his best call, and why he was a Steeler broadcaster, and a whole lot more with Bill Hillgrove, 5:30. And then at 5:15, I forgot to mention Brian Pasquale from the One Man's Opinion show on Beaver County Radio, Wednesday nights, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's called One Man's Opinion. All right. And we're on Beaver County Radio, Sports Corner Radio Show. Ralph Williams, Smoke, and Jim Frazier. Tuesdays, 99.3 FM, 1230 on the AM dial, and on Beaver County Radio's website, app, and it will be live on Beaver County Radio's Facebook page, YouTube channel, and live on www.rwmedia.org. Go on my website, punch up, you'll say the emblem will be on at Beaver County Radio, push live, and there you are. And you'll be right to the show. All right, so Wednesday night, right here on our 4 social media platforms, it's Pittsburgh Sports Talk with me, Ralph Williams, Smoke, and Jim Frazier. 8:30 p.m. start time. We talk not only just Pittsburgh sports, but national sports. Pittsburgh Sports Talk every Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Excuse me. I'm also looking for more subscribers. We're up to 131. I'm looking to get to 200 by the end of the year. I don't know what happened last year. I reached over 100 for my first year, but then the second year last year tailed off to about 30, 31 now. And I'm trying to get to 200. So call your friend, call your cousin, call somebody, get them listening, watching, and checking out my shows. and subscribing on my YouTube channel as well. All right. So, and then don't forget on Thursday night, I'm on Fire Up with part of the South Florida Tribune. I'm on their Fire Up show. Starts at 9:15, 9:20 p.m. Candy Ebling, Ralph Williams, uh, George Eichhorn, and Jeremy Ballridge. So we're all going to be on talking about all different types of sports. We do a segment called My Town, where we talk about sports in our areas where we live and things like that. So, you know, but anyway, it's going to be a monster show on Tuesday, and I advise you to tune in. It's going to be a great show, one of my best shows that I think I've put on in a long time. It's probably the best show. I have a little bit of everything. We're going to find out what the Eagles are thinking about with Kenny Pickett. We're also going to be, finding out what from Ray. Is it true that Kenny Pickett's a whiner? Okay, and Leo and I just talked about that. That looks like the Steelers now are starting to get rid of the whiners. And Omar Khan has made a statement in a report I read this morning that he's trying to fix everything that happened in 2022, just like Kyle Dubas did with the Penguins. Okay, so all right, this has been Telling It Like It Is. I have a few more bills I got to pay. Have a great one. Have a good morning. Thank you, and be safe. Have a great St. Patty's Day weekend, and please be safe. Ralph Williams here today to let you know that I am handicapped. I'm in a wheelchair, and I will not deny it. But I've had some recent inconveniences lately. So, you know what I did? I went out and I reached out to foldandtravelmobility.com. You know, foldandtravelmobility.com has some of the best folding power wheelchairs. Look, do you not go to certain events because you can't get there or you can't make it because you need a folding power wheelchair to put in your vehicle? Well, guess what? Foldandtravelmobility.com has the right model for you. Get in touch with them today. Foldandtravelmobility.com. Get on the phone, 1-877-GOTFOLD, foldandtravelmobility.com. 1-877-GOTFOLD. Let the experts help you get into a folding power wheelchair. Don't be sad. Be glad. Let your life get back in order. Foldandtravelmobility.com. Ralph Williams here for sponsorship advertising with RW Media Productions. You get Sports Corner radio show on Beaver County Radio. You also get 8 podcasts. Call today for the best affordable rates in advertising at 412-545-4317 or ralphwilliams737@gmail.com. Look forward to hearing from you. Sponsorship advertising with RW Media Productions. Hello, Ralph Williams here to talk to you today about Sleep Pittsburgh 8th Avenue Homestead for the best selection of affordable mattresses, day beds, lift chairs, futons, and more. Check out sleeppittsburgh.com for their inventory or call 412-462-7858. They also offer no credit check financing and a whole lot more. Sleep Pittsburgh for the best sleep tonight.